Okay, thank you everyone for taking the time to come out tonight. This part of the year is slightly brutal because we always seem so close to finishing, but then the school organise something which starts to stand in the way of our freedom. But so S1, I always thought that we were a really nice S1. Nice in the sense that we never really got cheeky to the older years. But see, as we've gotten older, I've been slightly disappointed that we've not received the same levels of respect because they honestly seem fearless of the braiding. But even though we were nice, we were still extremely embarrassing. So I've done a lot of scrolling through Facebook. Right back to 2012. So I've got a lovely post from Miss Amy Harley. So Amy wanted to tell all of us that One Direction are some seriously yummy boys. And see, because Amy's ducks, she knows what she's talking about, so. Anyway, then you move on to the comments, and this gets a wee bit interesting, and Dan makes a very good point. So Dan, you're right, we understand that it's really difficult for white middle class boys these days. Good looks don't get you places. And the next bit, I absolutely love the simplicity. Thanks for that, Matthew. Okay, anyway, so our S1 evenings, Saturday night, we used to always go to the EK ice rink, which, to be honest, I actually think is better than Shimmy. And for the benefit of parents, Shimmy is a very sophisticated establishment which we like to frequent. So, as you all know very, very well, we are quite an academic year. So last year we got the best exam results that Williamwood's seen in a very long time. But you shouldn't be fooled by our achievements and very courteous behaviour, because by S2, this very year group had been banned from that bridge. I think we are the only year group that have ever been banned from a certain area in school. So well done, guys, well done. And S2, at the weekends, we would transform our pristine Williamwood uniforms into disco pants from Rebel Rebel. If anyone remembers that shop, it's an absolutely horrific shop. But, you know, as we like to say in Clarkston, rebel, rebel. Sorry, that was Katya's joke. Anyway, yes, so our parties consisted of going to the Scout Hall, and when we went to the Scout Hall, there would always be one highlight of the evening, which I think we can all agree was arches. Yeah. So we would all be anticipating this game of arches, and we'd be knowing it was coming. And then when it would get to that point, we would all be dead embarrassed, like, oh my gosh, no, this is so embarrassing. But then there'd be like a fight to get to the front of the line, so I wasn't believing that. But I remember one time landing in the arms of Marcus Connolly, and I would just look into his eyes and I just thought, wow, this is the height of romance. This is what being a teenager is all about. So, now we've hit S3, and you're doing the subjects that you've chosen, or your pupil support have chosen. And you'd be comparing timetables with your pals and getting so excited because you've both got the same teachers, so that was a whole new level. And then it came to S3 exams, which, for one, didn't count for anything, and weren't set by the SQA. But for me, they probably felt like the most pivotal out of all the exams. I remembered thinking that if I didn't get an A in any of my SC exams, I probably wouldn't get to sit my Nat 5s or my hires. I wouldn't go to university, and I'd probably end up working in McDonald's with Matthew the rest of my life. So, if there's any young ones in the audience, don't take any of their nonsense. It's not that shocking. Right, S4. We were told over and over again that we were the guinea pigs for Nat 5, that we were the first year group to sit the Nat 5s, which isn't exactly a confidence booster. And I think for me, definitely the worst part was having to sit in that exam hall for the first time. But we managed fine and powered through. So our parties now, we'd left the scout hall. The scout hall wasn't cool anymore. We'd moved to houses, and we had one DJ at the scout hall. Like, we'd always have him, and since we moved to houses, he's now become homeless. And I think we're going to blame David Pauly for this one because he's replaced him. So David, I hope you're happy. And then we get to S5, and S5, the memory makes me sick, really. Countless nights of revision, school days starting at 8:30 and lasting till 7 o'clock at night. So I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Zakaria, who was either a blessing or a curse to me. A blessing in the sense that his determination and my determination came together and we became this absolute studying machine. But then the night before the exam, he'd go and have these awful mind blanks, which was kind of cramping our style. But let's not forget that we owe an immense debt of gratitude to our head of year, Mr. Fisher, who gave us this invaluable wisdom. If you're stressed, don't be.
It's always worked for me, so I thought.
So up until S6, I feel we've all experienced roughly the same school life, but definitely not this year. You've got the medicine, dentistry folk whose year honestly seems to be one horror after another, but the drive in them is unbelievable. Like, you've got Daniel sitting right there who is going for medicine, is doing 4 advanced hires, and he's doing 3 advanced hires, but he's also doing a vocational, which is the equivalent to advanced hire. Anyway, right, so, but yeah, honestly, I don't know how he does it, because then you've got me, who took cake decoration as one of my subjects, but it was the best decision I ever made. But honestly, I feel like we need the whole of S6 just to actually try and deal with the uni applications and try and cope with the stress of it all. But this year has definitely been such a good year just to get to know everyone, and I know it's annoying because it's our last year, but better now than never. And so I'm one of the older ones in the year. My mum and dad basically had the choice whether to put me in the year above and make me one of the youngest, or put me in this year and I'd be one of the oldest, and I'm so glad that they put me in this year. Can't imagine being the year above. Sorry, it's getting a bit sentimental. But anyway, we're lucky to have had such a fab year, so thanks to you all for making high school such a good time for me. Apart from you, Rosetta. Right, teachers. You have dedicated so much time to us in class and out. If you put it this way, without all your efforts, nobody would be sitting here with any offers at all. And you might not hear many thank yous from us because, we're teenagers, so incapable of gratitude. But you've shaped us and you've opened so many doors for us, but most preciously, you've taught us to always, always, always wear your blazer. And in return, if we could give you the gift of our young wisdom, stop putting things on Glow because we don't know our passwords. So yeah, I'm just going to put this out here because I've got everyone here. I think a school reunion should happen in 10 years, so we'll set a date and I'll expect to see you all there. And I've got one final thing to say, because as I said, we're all here. So when and where else would be a better time to ask whilst everyone's listening? And it's just been eating away at us for 6 years. Mr. Ingalls, do you have an alpaca farm? Okay, Daniel's worked really hard on his speech, so please laugh. Thank you.